She is one of the worst characters, and yet people shrimp for her so hard now with Intrigue coming out.
I always ignore characters that do those sorts of things in games. I don't know why they make them. Like, why? I like using money.
Well, friends, welcome to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Tide of Iron Season 2, Episode 18, Leeway. Now, I wanted to say, I did promise I'd stop doing weird intros, but then I found out that I could pretend to be a Zoomer for an intro, and I just want to say, Youth of America, I am one of you. So I've prepared a list here of the 5 things that Zoomers
Hello,
like.
fellow children.
All right. Okay, sure. Should be good. I want to hear this.
Number 1, making fun of how over Fortnite is. Okay, all right. I didn't realize that I would match up with Zoomers that well. Number 2, stonks, which I assume is supposed to be stocks. I'm a little iffy there, Zooms. Okay. Frank discussions about politics and the identification correctly of the 3 They're really talking about this in classrooms right now? This is what the youth of America... Zoomers, you and I are vibing. All right, number 4, horse girls. All right, look, I'm not into that, but let me tell you something.
Sorry,
my
what?
Zoomer brothers and sisters, if you like horse girls, let me tell you about a little something called Fake Grand Order that's gonna blow your mind. Number 5, making fun of millennial. Oh, fuck. Okay. Fuck you guys.
I read a good argument the other day that the reason why there's a massive divide between Zoomers and millennials now is because of COVID happening and everyone going back to their parents' house to outlive COVID. Millennials have grown up because they already live by themselves and they've become like adults, more adults, right? And Zoomers, because they have to go back to their parents' house, have become children again.
I mean, the oldest Zoomers are like 20, man.
Yeah. How many
They're
people
not
do you
that
know
old.
that are 20 that are
The
live by
millennials are
themselves?
the ones going back home to live with their parents.
So horse girls weren't what I first thought. I feel a bit safer now.
Yeah. So
It's
horse
there.
girls are
I'm
not
telling
girls
you,
that are
I
horses.
found a list
They
of...
are girls that really like horses.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I thought it had to do with the horse girl anime that's coming out. Uma Musume?
No.
Are you sure? I thought for sure that's what it
I'm
referenced.
100% sure that's not. What
Why are the
horse
youth
girl
of
is.
America talking about horse girls in their top 5 things that they talk about?
I'm getting my information here straight from Urban Dictionary, so it's a credible source.
It's a credible source.
Urban Dictionary has still not satisfactorily taught me what the definition of jive turkey is, and that was one of the first things I asked on stream 7 years ago. What does it mean, really? I still don't know. Every person I ask has a different answer. Is jive turkey just...
That's cultural appropriation, okay? You can't use
nothing
that.
cultural Dave, before the stream when I said, now this is a knife, that was cultural appropriation, okay? Asking what is jive turkey is not cultural appropriation, and I don't know how to explain the difference to you, except to do more really bad Australian accents.
You really want me to describe it to you?
No, I don't. Not you. I assume there'll be something about dicks involved if it's you.
No. What color is turkey meat?
There's 2 colors of turkey meat.
But in general.
There's still 2 colors of turkey meat. What do you mean in general?
It's the original other white meat. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. So when
They
someone says...
They literally have turkey meat.
Doesn't matter. The jive turkey represents a white person.
Does it though?
Who's trying to be more than what he is, basically. That is a jive turkey.
I don't know, man.
How did you not know that?
I've asked people what the definition is for years, and I've gotten different answers. This is the first time I've got your answer. So just like somebody going, you know what would be a great way to unify all of the different protocols? We should create a new protocol that encompasses all of the other protocols. And then you get another IEEE right there. That's how you get Firewire, Dave. This is how you get Firewire.
Interestingly, Dave, that what you just described there is not the top definition of jive turkey on Urban Dictionary.
Do you see? Do you see what I mean, James? It's impossible. The word has no definition.
It says
It's definitionless.
slang term for an individual who is prone to exaggerating the truth greatly or an outright liar, used predominantly in the 1970s.
But that's the first time I've heard that definition too, James. The word, it's mystical. It's a faceted diamond. No matter which side of it you look at, it's always different. You know what, Pondo? Just do your fucking intro. Nice house, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I got relatively moved in this week after doing some painting, not the miniature kind. And I got the living room and kitchen painted, the walls, and then after that, I just can't keep track of one singular thing I need to do. So it's been chaos relatively. Right now, I just have my stuff set up on a folding table that is actually decent. That was here when I got it. I got an organ. They left that here.
Wait, hold up. You purchased a house, and they just dumped garbage in there, and you just
No,
took it.
it's just stuff they didn't take with them.
Do you mean like the musical instrument or the piece of viscera?
Yeah.
The
Was it a kidney?
I mean, I haven't looked inside the organ, so
Was there a dilapidated car in the backyard that you just like, yeah, I'll fix it up one day?
I don't really have much of a backyard now. No.
Can you or Cotton play the organ?
I mean, just imagine this.
What do you mean by play? Like playing as in play a song, or
No. I'm imagining
Press the key.
Pondo cosplaying as his character on this show, seated sadly before a pipe organ, playing it ominously as a thunderstorm goes off in the background.
I mean, if you've got a pipe organ now, you're about 1/5 of the way towards an Exorcist tank. You just need a few other things. So
I have to figure out how to put the rockets or the missiles in the pipe organs, though. That's the thing.
I'm sure there's YouTube videos to help with that.
F sharp chord, they start firing.
I just want to bring this back to Fate Grand Order. Nero, who my character is based off of, when she plays her pipe organ, it fires lasers at people out of a statue of a Roman emperor.
That's neither grim nor dark, I'm afraid.
I know, but it's still good. It's very orky, though, if you think about it. Also, the lasers are capable of bending. You know, as lasers.
You mean like the Omega beam from Darkseid?
I don't know what that is.
Oof. Speaking of Darkseid, watched Justice League Apocalypse War. That's a dark movie. Lots of
I don't know what that is.
So it's the final movie of the DC animated universe, which is really good, by the way, and way better than any of the DC live action movies.
Yeah, the thing is, DC, they do the animated
That's not a
stuff
high
really
bar.
well.
though.
Yeah, no, that's not a high bar. I'm gonna say. Yeah.
I mean, it's on par with like the MCU. It's just animated.
Yeah,
The thing is, they used to have Mark Hamill as a Joker, and that was the peak of DC. Everything after that was garbage.
Actually, there was
the DC animated universe.
I did when Mark Hamill was Joker.
Wait, he's not the Joker anymore?
I don't think
on
so.
and off. It depends. If he feels like doing it, he'll do it. Because there's been many times where he says, like, all right, I'm not going to do Joker anymore. And then it's like, all right, we're going to do Killing Joke. All right, I'll do Joker for this.
Right. Peak Marvel was that episode where the Joker captures Mark Hamill to use as a hostage against another character that he also voices in the in the DC animated series. That one was the best episode for sure.
I'm trying to
I don't know much about anything else. You can Google it. It's Mark Hamill kidnaps Mark Hamill to something Mark Hamill.
But no, I feel like the DC stuff animated does good as the MCU, but the Marvel anime stuff does not do as good, or at least doesn't hit as well as DC.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they go with What If.
I don't know.
What If looks interesting.
I guess. What If is one of the... What If is like kids at staying up late at night being like, oh man, what if this guy was Batman instead? Or, you know, what if Iron Man was this guy? You know, it's like a weird discussion. I have almost no interest in it because it's not going to reflect anything on the MCU. None of it's literally all non-canon. Although I am super interested to see T'Challa as Star-Lord. Just because I like the idea of T'Challa as Star-Lord. Also, Chadwick Boseman literally gave the last years of his life performing his fucking ass off for all of us, and all people could say was that he was the crack panther. Man deserves so much better rewards than what we gave him. It's crazy. I can't believe he had cancer the whole time. He's doing an amazing job. Pondo, it's still your intro, though. Don't let me steal it away with my Chadwick Boseman shrimping.
That's okay. He's a good man to shrimp for. But I got nothing else. That's it. I'm here. I'm ready.
You know, speaking of shrimps, Big Spoon.
Yeah. So going back to the DC animated universe, I don't think the Joker's in the new 52 run. So you're free to watch it because there's no other Joker other than the Mark Hamill one because he's not in it. But anyway, I am preparing to start running a Pendragon game for my home group on Sundays.
What area are you starting in?
Uther, the Uther era. For the standard 5th edition start of 485. I do have the Uther expansion book.
The extra 5 years.
Yeah. When it goes to starts in 480 instead, and it's interesting and I like it, but I just went with the standard start. So I will probably use some of the timeline from it though, because it changes the timeline up a little bit. So yeah, been watching the Solaris Knights matches. They've been really good lately. Today's did Kyle Morgan's match come out today?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really good. It was a not explosive, but a exciting match for sure. Looking forward to my next one. So that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Dave Traeger.
Yo, what up? So I had a lot of shit happen to me. Today, I got my first COVID vaccination.
Yeah, I got mine yesterday. Have you suddenly started feeling like Microsoft Windows is the best choice of operating system in the modern era?
No, but I got a lot more.
Kind of really thought I would.
I got a lot better reception on my phone all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys aren't getting the 5G. Like, is that the Pfizer only?
But I got the Moderna. Yeah. It was kind of funny because I'm not in a susceptible group. I'm really not. Like I'm healthy. I'm within the weight limit that I need to be, and same thing with my wife. And we just randomly got a call today from one of her friends. It's like, hey, we have this extra batch of COVID vaccination. You guys want to come in and get the good shit? And we're like, yeah, that sounds great. So I went in, got it. It was real easy, no problems. But when I got it, my arm started getting real fucking heavy. Like the one I got the shot in, it was just like super heavy. That was really weird. I'm not joking about that. That actually happened. So I was like, oh, okay, that's very strange. But they said there'll be some weird feelings when you get it. So
have you had one or more shots, Pondo?
I have not yet. I've been kind of like
okay.
people.
So I'm not the only unvaccinated scum here on this channel, at least.
I'm like Dave. I'm a healthy person. I've actually been working the entire time throughout the pandemic. So
yeah, it's definitely one of those things where if I have this weird problem where I could probably never have gone back to Australia, because here in Poland. They're sort of prioritizing citizens. I'm not a citizen. And in order to get back to Australia, you need to be vaccinated. And until now, I wasn't vaccinated. So I was like, huh.
Might just be stuck here forever.
Yeah, but the one thing that I didn't want to get is like the wait like 2 years and then eventually get access to like the crappier vaccination, because that's the type of shit Poland tries to pull. They'll be like, oh, we got this cool vaccine from Russia, guys. Real good shit, like, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Get that Sputnik away from
me. I've been letting other people get in the line first to actually need it.
Yeah. Well, the good news today, by the way, is the Human Rights Council, the International Human Rights Council, has told Australia you can't tell its own citizens it can't come back if they're not vaccinated. That's actually against international law. So
but I wouldn't want to go to Australia without the wife. So it'd be like,
they tried it on. They did try it on, but no, we got slapped down by the Human Rights Council.
So what else? Getting my tattoo, the remaining part of my tattoo in 4 days. That's going to be really exciting. About to release another game on Steam. Steam finally approved it, which is good. I only had to make one edit, and they didn't tell me what was the reason, but I changed something, and then they accepted it. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what the problem was, but I fixed it. And yeah, I mean, things are just moving forward here. Been playing a lot of Outriders.
How is that?
Well, if you enjoy making gear, being like dependent on gear, loot farming, that sort of shit, shooting a gun, and then sort of like min-maxing your dude, because that game is all about fucking min-maxing. Like right now there's a build going around where it's like, okay, if you have a mod on your gun, if you kill something, when 35% of the ammo is left in the clip, you will automatically refill it. And they have a skill which basically adds like 40% weapon damage to the current clip that you have based on how much of this like skill power you have. So 40% of the skill power adds 40% extra damage to weapon, and it lasts for an entire clip. The thing is, you shoot or the clip goes away, but if you have this extra mod on it, the clip never ends. So this like particular weapon skill stays on the entire time.
Yeah, I understand. It's the infinity shaped magazine clip. Makes perfect sense. It allows the Patriot to continue firing.
It's the movie magazine.
Yeah. And the developers are like, no, that's completely intended. Like, we built it that way. So, it's very interesting seeing all these like weird sort of builds come out of it. It's very Diablo. It's very Path of Exile, but if it was a first-person shooter.
Third-person shooter.
Whatever. It's the same shit as far as I'm concerned.
My personal experience with Outriders is that it's a great game to play if you enjoy crashing a desktop constantly with no error messages.
Damn.
I haven't had a single crash the entire time, so I'm not.
I gave up after 3 and thought I'll wait for them to patch it.
Well, they just did patch it, so
couldn't get out of the tutorial area.
Maybe you'll be able to play now because they just patched a lot of stuff. Actually,
did I ever tell you the infinite kick story, Arthur? I feel like I might have told that story in the past.
No, but can't wait to hear it.
This was from the game Kingdom Death Monster, the board game Kingdom Death Monster, where they have where the game has a mechanic where to work out what the monsters do, you have a deck of cards with the monsters' different abilities.
Yep.
And as you weaken them, you take cards out, so they get weaker and weaker, or they get less options to use. But one of the cards is called Kick, and the effect of the card is do amount of damage, and then draw another combat card. The issue is if you get down to them only having a 1-card deck and it's Kick, you play it, it does damage, you have to draw a card. If it's only a 1-card deck, that same card goes back in again, so it just keeps constantly refreshing itself. And so people put it into like the complaints or the feedback forum for the company which made it, and they came back with an FAQ, said we fixed it, and all they did was they changed the name of the card to Infinite Kick.
Oh, Kingdom Death Monster.
Oh, that's great.
I have so much to say about it, but I won't.
I really enjoyed
There's
that
words
game.
I have to
Actually.
say about it, and I've only played a little bit of it.
I really enjoyed it. So that game, Kingdom Death Monster. I mean,
Yeah.
I had fun with it. You have to have the right group, though. Same type of people that like playing Monster Hunter.
Oh, it does have a pretty interesting overlap with Monster Hunter if you also hate yourself.
Yeah.
I've never played.
Arthur, you play Fate Stay Night Go, whatever the fuck it's called. As far as I'm concerned, that isn't a valid complaint anymore.
You're entitled to that opinion. You got anything else, Dave? Any more opinions?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not like video games are kind of like really dry for me these days, so I don't know. I'm not really expecting anything else out of this year, but we'll see.
Should come play Empyrean Part 2.
I want to. I really do, but like the moment I think about like the game that I just purchased, and I'm just like, I need to give this a fair shake.
Okay. The changes are extensive and brutal.
Yeah, it is.
If you try flying a ship built in vanilla in Reforged Eden, you just fall out of the sky.
Well, your generators explode, and then you fall.
You weren't there for when the defense tower's generator exploded.
No, I wasn't.
I turned it on, and I was like, I'll be back in just a minute. And I came back 1 minute later. Whoever designed the tower put the generator next to the core and every other functional component. So when the generator exploded, not only did it kill the core, it killed everything of value, including all the turrets and the solar panels. It was literally just a column made of steel.
That is one of the things about the new mod is that the stuff exploding
Constantly
explodes now. Like whereas before you could shoot a fuel tank and it would blow up and nothing would happen.
Yeah.
But now
exploding stuff is really bad.
Yeah, and it the ammo goes and then your engines go and then half your ship's gone.
It sounds like how it would actually happen. Yeah. No.
The ship that I'm currently flying, I didn't notice this, but the core is right next to the pilot's cockpit. Which I guess makes sense. No. Because, listen, if you're taking damage, your core is not the only thing you need to be worried about. And if your core is taking damage, if the rest of the ship has been shot through and the core is taking damage, I assure you, you don't need to worry about the pilot's seat you're in. You won't be in for very long.
Sounds like the same exact argument I've heard about putting ammo in your cockpit in BattleTech.
Listen, today's match, I think, proved you really should not put ammo in your cockpit. I used to be like, that's a genius strategy, but you know what? That only works in the video games.
It's like in the film The Martian, where they work out the best way to keep him warm while traveling across the Martian landscape is to put it carrying radioactive isotope in the seat behind him.
Yeah. You could do that in this game. So sometimes you get into space and it's called cold space and it's colder than normal, and even if you have an EVA booster on, you're still freeze to death. So the way to get around it is to keep your ship nearby and to just hover near your radioactive thruster.
Yeah, just point a thruster at yourself.
So the negative 230 degrees Celsius weather will be countered by the 900 degrees Celsius heat of the engine.
It's like the Siberian
You just need to keep 180ing all the time.
The Siberian soldiers would keep warm by standing in front of radar dishes. And then had complications later in life.
Yeah, I'd say so. Oh man.
All right, James, let's do your intro and then cut to the game.
No worries. Look, I've had a pretty busy couple of weeks. I guess probably the main highlight for me, other than work-related stuff, is I finished my Numenera campaign on Friday. So that's almost 5 years that campaign was going for, and we brought it to a conclusion. And I will say, for me, it was a satisfactory conclusion, and I think for the players as well. So it was one of those sort of like we resolved all the threads, and we sort of imagined that there was still stuff that the characters could do, but it's like we were going from a mini series to a TV series, and so that everyone was happy to leave their characters knowing that they would have continued adventures that we didn't need to go and play through. So that was fun to finish off, and so now with that particular group, we're now planning a new game that I'll be running, probably using the Sword Chronicle system. So this was the system that was used in the Song of Ice and Fire RPG by Green Ronin. And then when they lost the license to Game of Thrones, they republished it as its own standalone fantasy setting, basically added in things like sorcery and the like. So we'll probably, because we like the household mechanics, that sort of thing.
They are really good.
So we're currently world building
for years to get a Game of Thrones game together, and then it fell apart in like the first 3 episodes.
I do.
Yeah, no,
remember
I watched all 3 of them.
It was actually heartbreaking to have it fall apart.
Wait, was that the one where everyone made their own fucking houses and
Yes,
stuff?
and they were all moving units around on the board, and some of them were already planning to betray the others. They had some long-term schemes.
I'm going to get each player to make their own house, and rather than having all the players be part of the same house.
I can't do it again.
I
I
doing that
wish
for
you
a
well on
one-shot.
that, James, but I can't put that kind of effort into a game and then just have a player fuck off, and then have a second player fuck off. I mean, one of the players left the show because they were literally like, yeah, so Adam Coble's running a show, and I'm going to go on his show rather than this show I already agreed to be on. And I was like, okay, all right, I can deal with that. And somebody else is like, I'm just going to stop showing up. And I was like, really? Just no explanation. There's nothing. I've had some baffling decisions. That was only one other person stopped showing up has ever confused me more.
So can I ask you a question, Arthur? Is this show the only show in your channel which has survived a 2-player exodus at the one time?
Most shows do not survive a player exodus at all.
What about Cyberpunk? No?
Oh yeah, because obviously
I guess you could call
true.
it that. Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And also the Star Wars Edge of the Empire campaign we had.
Did 2 people leave? I thought it was just the one guy.
I honestly don't recall.
And then we also had a bunch of those campaigns with when we were doing the every 30 days would swap to another campaign
every 5 weeks.
thing.
But that was a different game every.
So what I hear is it happens all the time, and you shouldn't be complaining about it.
It hasn't.
There it is. Check off your bingo sheet for James Burns Arthur.
You don't listen. You don't want to get me doing bingos again.
Why not?
Not you, Big Spoon.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
do
true.
Solaris Knights
Yeah,
bingo,
I
and
would
the
be-
center square
I
is
would
going to be
be roasted.
Seth loses after talking big. That's the free
Look.
space.
Michael Jordan said it's easy to talk shit when you're up, and it's hard to talk shit when you're down.
I don't understand why Seth is still talking shit then.
Because if you stop talking shit, that means you've given up. You've given up hope.
I understand now.
So you got to continue to talk shit even when you're down. So that way, when you're on top, you can go.
Well, it's
I
fine.
knew it all along.
You have a
Well,
Timberwolf now.
If you talk enough shit and you dig all the way through the bottom of the planet,
Exactly.
you'll come out on top eventually.
See, Dave gets it.
Yep.
That's he can now really talk the shit because he has a Timberwolf now.
Maybe it's my problem and not the kids' problems. No, it's the kids'
Oh,
problems.
yes,
Yeah.
it's the kids who are
It's the
wrong.
children. That's right. Yeah. No, so other stuff in my life. I mean, other than I've been completely tied up with work, getting ready for my big presentation this coming week, which I had to submit on Friday. But now that it's submitted, I can't do anything further until I actually go and present. So I'm feeling pretty relaxed now. It was high stress. I actually got a bit sick in the last day or so. I think from just the combination of the workload and the stress. But
Were you saying you
it's
took a
good.
point of meat damage and it made it more difficult to pilot your mech into combat? Because some audience members have questioned whether stress can affect you physically to me, and I was like, whoa, what a charmed life you live.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yep. But other than that, I finished off my replay through of all the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games, and so now I've started a replay through of all the Wolfenstein games. As in the recent series, so Old Guard, New Colossus, and Youngblood.
I only played the original Wolfenstein, like the 2011. No,
The original Wolfenstein is Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, from like 87, you know.
All right, look, I'm going to need you guys to spoil
And
Wolfenstein
actually, the
for me.
prequel to that is Rise of the Triad.
Mecha
Was that the
Hitler.
sequel? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Mecha Hitler. Arthur.
So
Mecha
my
Hitler.
understanding of
Witkowski.
Wolfenstein is that it's Doom but with Nazis.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, the original Wolfenstein, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Not the new ones.
I mean, the new
BJ
one,
Blazkowicz
new
is
ones-
is a Jewish man who looks Aryan, who fucking destroys Mecha Hitler. I'm not joking. This is actually Wolfenstein.
So the thing about the recent series, Arthur, that made it interesting was that the setting for it is an America where the Nazis won.
Yeah, I don't know what that would look like.
Each of the games brings it
Wow.
forward. Like the first one was set in like the 50s, and then you had one in the 70s, and we had one in the 80s. So, yeah, they just sort of it's that sort of Man in a High Castle almost style setting. So,
Yeah,
it's-
the first Wolfenstein that got remastered was literally like, what if I'm crawling through an air vent holding two enormous LMGs in both hands, and I'm sneaking, and then I can throw a knife at the same time. That's what that game was.
Yeah. So yeah, the new Wolfenstein stuff is like it's very much Doom like, but with some stealth stuff involved.
yeah. Yeah, but
James,
I
I have a favor. I can you, for me, since you're replaying all these games, can you replay fuck, what was that game called? Escape from Butcher's Bay?
I've never played it, so
You're talking about the Riddick game.
Yeah, the Riddick game. That amazing movie tie-in that was way better than it should have been.
yeah. Hey, do you remember when Vin Diesel wouldn't do sequels, and now they've announced Fast and Furious 9?
Yeah. Now it's nothing but sequels.
I
You
remember when
realize
they
that
said they
sequels
would
equal
never make
money.
another movie after Paul fucking Walker died, and then they were like, "No, we need the money more than we need to honor Paul Walker." Oh, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck you, Fast and the Furious. I dealt with your bullshit. I dealt with your infinite airstrip. I dealt with a car jumping between skyscrapers. Okay?
That one was fun.
Look.
That one was fun.
They left all
does-
pretense of reality behind when they were dragging a giant safe through the streets of, like, I think it was Rio de Janeiro.
And killing dozens of police officers in the
Yeah,
process.
just murdering hundreds of people.
But the new one, Dom has a brother, yo. Yo, you want to fucking...
Who's
Who's
John,
John
Cena,
Cena?
right? Yeah.
It's John Cena. That's
Is it? Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm
god, I
pretty
didn't
sure
know
it
that. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Look,
Is he an American who loves America?
Look, John Cena is fucking hilarious
He really
in
is.
movies.
yes.
He
I
is,
mean, have you watched the trailer for the new Suicide Squad as well?
yes. Oh
You've
my
not seen it,
god.
is he in there?
Yeah.
He's Captain Liberty.
Yeah.
Who the fuck
With
is
the
Captain
big-
Liberty?
Got the big like silver helmet and the gun.
Yeah, he's basically he's a superhero who believes in peace at all costs.
Is Idris Elba playing Deadshot?
No, he was supposed to, but they decided to leave it open for Will Smith to come back, so he's playing Bloodsport instead.
Can they afford Will Smith? That's the real question.
It depends on what this film does.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
DC
exactly.
will put the money into it. They just won't make the money back.
Well, I'm just wondering if DC will was going to pull essentially a Disney where it's like, hey, Harrison Ford, do you want to come and play on Solo? It's, all right, sure, I'll do it for $60 million. Like, all right,
I mean,
won't put him with someone kill him off in there. We can't.
listen, they're getting what's the guy that played fucking Anakin Skywalker to come back.
Hayden Christensen,
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Disney is working fucking miracles right now.
Hayden Christensen, who had like gone and lived on a farm for years.
he had to
Hey, he
leave.
did Jumper. Come on.
Jumper's great, man. I love Jumper.
That guy gave up on life after Star Wars.
Look, there are a lot of actors who did parts in Star Wars and then deeply regretted it for years afterwards.
Typecast. I mean, I bet
the-
Hayden.
the guy
I
who
bet
did
Hayden
Jar Jar
Christensen-
Binks' voice apologized for.
Oh yeah, I'm a blessed. Yeah.
Now look, Disney isn't innocent in this. They did destroy Terrence Howard when Terrence Howard was like, look, you got me on the Iron Man cast first. I'm the War Machine. I'm Brody. Pay me lots of money. And they were like, no, we're going to pay Robert Downey Jr.
Look.
lots of money.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard has destroyed Terrence Howard pretty well as well.
Okay,
He's not faultless either.
But here's the thing. Whenever I watch Iron Man 1, I'm just like, oh my god, he's such a better Iron Man, like War Machine than the guy that comes in.
Don
like,
Cheadle? Shut your face. I will die on this line.
those are
Don
fighting
Cheadle
words.
is an
Those are fighting
amazing
words,
war
Dave.
machine.
Well,
It was an
Iron
adjustment.
Man-
It was a very
Iron
jarring
Man,
adjustment.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was way too jarring for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna accept this guy as
No,
War
I accepted
Machine.
it immediately because he came in and he said, okay, I'm here. This is me. Let's do this. As soon as I heard that line, I was like, you know what? Boom. Nailed it.
No, I'm sorry. It was way too much of an adjustment for me.
No,
and I never
I'll tell
managed
you
to
an
get over that.
adjustment is when the second season of Spartacus started up and we
That's
watched this
because the
guy
guy
who's killing a bunch of
died.
people and I'm like, who is this guy? Is he like a background extra? Why do I give a shit? And then everybody's like, hey, Spartacus, I'm a guy from season 1. I remember you. And I'm like, this is the new Spartacus? He doesn't look anything like the old Spartacus.
That's because the guy got cancer and died.
Yes,
It's
I'm
like
aware, but they chose a completely different guy, and they didn't go, this is Spartacus. They went, here,
pick the
watch
same
20
guy
minutes of this
up.
guy killing somebody. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this character? Why do I care about him? I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't watch interviews. I don't know who this person is. I didn't know
so
I was
you know-
looking at Spartacus. I thought I was watching
you
like a
know-
prequel.
You know what was the last thing the actor did that played Spartacus?
No.
He was in a fucking short with Freddie Wong on YouTube.
Freddie Wong, yeah.
That's not a
It's
bad
like
way to
in,
go. Freddie
if you
Wong's.
play the Saints Row series, in the Saints Row 1 game, you had a minimum customization of your character. In Saints Row 2, you could do more, including making them a different gender, even though it's the same character. And if you play a different gender, the NPCs are going, oh, you look different. And that's it. That's the only acknowledgement of the fact that suddenly this character has completely changed.
As far as I'm concerned, that game is bananas anyway. Like,
Exactly.
I'm waiting for the next one to see where they go because I don't think they can go any further than where
I
they've
don't
gone.
know that there's going to be a next one. I think they hit the cap.
No, there's something
like
about
money, though.
time travel. There's something about
that's
time
it.
travel.
Yeah, the end of the last game had them getting control of a time machine and being guided by Jane Austen on how to go and rescue the heroes of the past.
Fuck?
Did you not know that Jane Austen is the narrator of the 4th game?
I have to tell you,
It's revealed
I don't know
right at the end.
anything about any of the Saints Rows because I
Alright, play
heard that
them.
you beat
They
people to
are
death with
amazing.
giant dildos, and that's all I needed to know that game
No,
was
that-
not for
that
me.
game-
So
That game is way too fun to ignore, dude. Like you,
It's too late.
Yeah.
I've already
The
ignored
first
it for my
game-
entire life.
the first game is like, okay, hey, we're GTA's cooler, funner cousin. And it has like an actual story, and like there's a mystery with what happens to Julius at the end of it. And then the second game was like, nah, fuck all that. We're just GTA on meth.
That's right, yeah.
and then the third
GTA,
game
it's
was
already on that.
Here's a mission where you've got to steal a sewage truck to spray shit on houses to decrease land values.
That's some regular corporate villainy. Was it this show where I was like, listen, if ghosts were real, we would use the cold chill that they generate to make a
Yes.
temperature differential
That was the
engine, and people were like, Arthur, you're the villain. Let me tell you something. The game Doom is about people stealing energy from hell without paying the demons back for what they're taking. Those demons just want a refund for the thing we take from them, their hell energy. Okay? We're the villains of that game. The demons are just trying to collect on their contract.
So the thing about Saints Row that works the best, Arthur,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At the end of the third movie, the third game, you become president of the United States. And then in the fourth game, you're the president of the United States for all of 10 minutes. Not even that. There's an introduction scene where you get to choose 3 outcomes of what you do. Oh my god, that game is wild. I need to go back and play that game.
I got to say though, a friend of mine this week is starting a webcomic based upon a meme he read, which I think would be great. Which is the story is a ghost and a zombie who are both the undead form of the same person. So it's the ghost frustratingly watching all the dumb stuff his undead body does.
That's pretty interesting.
Nice.
That's like last thing I want to say is that I'm so glad we're playing today because a little over an hour ago, my in-laws turned up unannounced, and I'm like, sorry, got to go run a game on stream.
Perfect.
My wife can deal with that downstairs.
You're welcome.
I'm out here to save lives. That's what I
That's
do.
it.
Pondo, did you have something to add? You look like you were ready to jump in at one point.
I forgot. I honestly don't remember.
James, that meme you just described sounds like a World of Darkness book.
Yes. All right. Previously on Rogue Trader Tide of Iron, we see the Warhound roll up in front of the steps of the Clockwork Court. Examining old records and speaking with the sagacity, the crew learns that Evangeline did indeed come to Snovia previously, investigating a series of murders and apparently collecting pieces of a broken mirror. With investigations concluded at the Clockwork Court, the group returns to the Arbitrates precinct at Harlock's Folly, meeting Riani outside. Beneath the Folly, the crew discovers a hidden room which contains a restored mirror and the somehow still alive disembodied face of a demon once encountered by Evangeline. And finally, Riani delicately collects the demonic face while it screams in rage and agony at the presence of Cade before dropping it into a scroll case and sealing the top. Thought for the day, nobody is innocent, there are merely varying degrees of guilt. So...
I clearly don't remember anything that happened in the last episode.
Yeah, it was great.
So we're in the Chimera, the Warhound, and I'm looking at everybody and I'm like, all right, so allow me to recap. This message scroll right here contains the face of a demon whose name is unpronounceable. We decided to capture him and then throw him out of the ship into the infinite void of space at Riani's suggestion. Great work, Riani. Kind of scary how you know so much about demons, but not going to question that too closely because you can destroy me with your infinite eye. Dawn, no progress on your storylines lately. Adrian, we still got that thing with you and the ship, your old ship, and Lord Captain, do you recall that when we were talking to, and I point to the Inquisition team, who are also here with us. Do you recall when we were talking to their boss's boss, we offered them a deal to get in on our advertising material, t-shirts, mugs, all that kind of stuff, and they thought it was a great idea and they invested in it. I feel like we should extend that particular investment not only to this team, but to the people of this planet. Oh, sorry, and I hand the scroll to Cade. And I say, sorry, I have to get out here. I'll meet you guys at the ship. I need to go talk to my friend Brock. And I get off of the Warhound. After having dropped my recap. James, you tell us what happens next as I step off of the... I just want to get everybody into the same headspace.
Sorry?
I'm confused. Are you going to make the deal now?
What deal?
About the advertising?
Oh no, I'm gonna go talk to Brock. I promised him I'd solve all of his solve the undead demon problem, and he thought that I wasn't serious. And now I'm just gonna be like, "Yep, we solved it."
And we're sure we've done that.
Yes.
Okay. No worries. So you find Brock at his little push cart selling the stuff he sold previously. I think he gave you a piece of fruit or something before, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm just gonna drop a bag of coins because I'm a rogue trader crew, and I assume I have a lot of money. For like a normal person, and be like. Brock, thank you for all of your help earlier. I believe we've solved your problem with the undead rising. It should be gone forever now. There's also the small problem of that Inquisition team being really fucking weird. I can't stop them from being weird, but maybe they'll stop bothering the common people of this city now that we've solved their problem for them.
So, Inquisition team?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're very noticeable. They wear giant hats. Look, Brock... I like you, and that's why I wanted to give you my blessing. I know you don't know this. You thought I was just a weird man that you met off of the street who talked a big game, but I can back that game up. More than that, I'm royalty. I'm actually married to an imperial governor. That's why I wanted to give you and your family my blessing from the God Emperor. That's right. Go in peace, my friend. Take this money, spend it wisely, and know that your knowledge was critical in helping this world, and indeed... the foundation of the Imperium. And then I swish my fucking cloak and leave into the dark, rainy night, ending the supernatural Louisiana, New Orleans mystery thriller.
I think from where the Warhound is parked on the side of the street because we stopped for you to get out. Adrian just reaches up and like hits the horn.
Would you hurry up, Nero? We don't have all day.
I climb back inside. I'm like, I told you guys I would meet you there. You ruined my exit.
Just so you know, Wally has upgraded the Warhound with an air horn that plays the theme of a hymnal, like an imperial hymnal.
Perfect.
Amazing.
I assume it sounds like a pipe organ version of "I Will Show You the World" from the Aladdin soundtrack.
Sure, why not?
All right.
There is no pipe organ on it is literally air horns, so it is, you know.
Yeah, but it's a recording. Perfect. But everyone would know the hymnal, right? They would know.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, I'm going to sit down next to Wally, and I'm going to menace over his shoulder and be like, did you get that upgrade authorized, Wallace?
Yes.
Okay, I have nothing else. I stopped moving.
Yeah, that's right. He went to send something, but when he was covered, he's like, okay, I'll just shut up then and I'll be quiet. All right. So, is the plan now to return the ship, and where are you dropping off if you're dropping off Spectre Cell 17?
I was going to attempt to set up an advertising opportunity here.
Okay.
If at all possible.
Yes. Look, we have lower profit factor than what we started with. I'm just trying to get us back up to that base level.
We're up to 45, okay?
I think you're higher than your starting profit.
We started
What?
at 39 before, then we dipped down to like 30 something. But
I thought we were at 30. We started at 30. Oh, you're right. We are at 45. Well, you know, more profit factor is never bad. And I would hate for anyone to forget that our job is technically to make money at some point.
I mean, we're pretty profitable if I think we're doing better than most, like, I think how James compared it to was like governors get about like 30 to 40 or 40 to 50, something like that.
I think we're back up to where like an average rogue trader is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys to understand that I live my life via Wu-Tang Clan songs, and there's one I'd like to share. Cash rules everything around me. Almost all of my tabletop role-playing game characters are obsessed with financial prosperity.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Now it checks out.
So Nero may not be rich, but he wants to make sure everybody's rich. All right, now I didn't forget this, but Nero forgot it. So as we're getting back to the ship and you're preparing your financial prosperity team, I put a hand on your shoulder and say, Lord Captain, wait, don't you need a talisman from here?
No, I think my talisman is somewhere else.
Are you I turn to the GM in the cloak at the corner and I go, that doesn't sound right. That's not true, right?
We couldn't. The anything Harlock. There was nothing Harlock here. The last thing Harlock was sold to a.
We're doing all this in Rogue Trader can't quietly in a corner.
Yeah. Essentially, the one cog that is of the Harlock line was sold to someone that's in Ruth, which is another pleasure world. Reth.
Dr. Nathaniel Feltz.
So close. Almost there. Yeah, Reth. Which that might be our talisman, so to speak.
Not the mirror that the demon came out of.
No, the mirror was stuck to the thing.
But wasn't that personally designed by Harlock?
I don't recall. But I think the mirror needs...
It's not a clockwork is a problem.
Oh,
Yes.
It needs to be a clockwork. All right.
Yep.
Essentially.
Well, then, that's my mistake. But Nero still asks all these questions.
But yes, it has to be a clockwork because he has a steampunk fetish, essentially.
I hate clockwork stuff, sir. Every time we've involved ourselves in it, it's been stupid. Remember that weird blob monster that I shot a bunch of times and it didn't do anything? Stupid.
Is it because it's the only thing you haven't been able to kill?
I do like killing things. Then I get up and leave so that you can do business.
Right.
Did it with the last word again, son of a bitch.
Pierre, you get a message, just like a text message through your Vox from the ship. letting you know that a Chartist vessel by the name of the Steadfast Obedience has entered the system, and the captain has contacted the Hand to let them know that he's carrying a package for the Hand of Calixis.
Did we order something? That's like... okay. Well, I guess retrieve it and then send it down to me.
Wait a second. Wouldn't it take a really long time for a Chartist vessel to arrive? Right?
I mean,
like they don't make warp jumps, right? They make like
no, they do. They make warp jumps. They're just not allowed to leave the Imperium.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought they were really slow.
No, you're thinking of system ships. Yeah, Chartist vessels are just regular warp-capable vessels that just are confined to the Imperium. They don't have the authority that a rogue trader has.
Luckily, we're subscribed to Lord Emperor Prime.
Yeah, and they have to follow established trade routes too.
So that way they don't get lost and messed up with the. That's understandable. Okay, yeah, I just have them sit it down with the rest of the merchandise stuff.
Okay, so have them bring it into the surface, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. So yeah, probably a shipping montage later. There is a bunch of merchandise delivered to the surface by a lifter, along with the package that's been delivered, which appears to be a small wooden box. That is the signal on it you recognize from the Spider Bride's pavilion.
Oh. How'd you know I was here? Oh, wait. We have her. Never mind.
Didn't we send her a message?
Yes, I sent her a message asking for a status update on the plan to kill Tanthus Moros, a.k.a. Tanthus Moron.
Well, I'll open the box when I have someone, i.e. probably Nero and Dawn, clear the area.
All right, everybody get out. I'm upset, and you know that's bad for everyone's health. Grr.
Everyone gets
it's really half-hearted though. Nero's just like grr, grr. I like wave something non-threateningly.
But he intimidates so high though; it's still as effective as a regular person actively intimidating.
I'm gonna look at the package and go, I fucking hate this woman. I hate her so much.
He'd keep Dawn and Adrian with him as well. It's fine if they see. And Ivoriani, if she's still there, which she probably is.
Okay, so the package contains. It's easy to open. It's probably got some sort of like a fingerprint or equivalent bio lock that you're able to open, and inside it contains a data slate and a small like scrolled piece of paper which is just covered in like numbers, just numbers, like 5 numbers per line, about probably 55 lines long.
Okay.
We'll have to get the assassin woman that you had her send with us.
Unless there's a cipher on the data slate. The scroll is the cipher.
I look so confused. I'm like, if you put the cipher with the message, it is totally useless, sir. Absolutely unusable. There is literally no point.
That's why you would do it.
But no, it's obviously we have to get Joss.
It's so stupid, nobody would think of it.
It's like putting your password as password. It's just...
What are we, a comedy from the early 1990s? Get out of here.
No, come on, we're still in a noir world. Still noir.
So
we left the noir when I walked away.
I thought that was supposed to be important to the surface. I thought you were on the world itself still.
Yeah, we're still on the world.
Yeah, but it's no longer noir. The black and white filter has dropped away. We're back in color.
Yeah, but still, the rain is still driving.
Okay.
So what would you need to roll in order to get the to try and attempt to?
Well, the data slate doesn't appear to be locked with any cipher. It's just got information on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of information is it?
So effectively, it's a letter, or it's more like a dossier sort of thing from the Spider Bride regarding Tanthus Moros. So you ask basically how best to assassinate him and depose of him in such a way that wouldn't cause further strife. And so she's done, a lot of analysis on the potential outcomes and methodologies of disposing of him. It explains that the note, which includes all the numbers, is basically a programming trigger for Joss. If you take Joss to Footfall and show her that note, it will give her the knowledge and skills required to assassinate Moros in such a way that will not be tied to your dynasty. Then it also then goes on to say that the issue right now is if you kill Moros and try and fill that vacuum yourself, there are too many forces in the Expanse that aren't threatened by you, and that your claim will be challenged unless you spend your entire time on Footfall solidifying it, which will probably take between 1 and 2 years to do. Alternatively, she recommends that if you're able to form a relationship with the Tech Magi of Alta Templum Calixis S-17, which is the asteroid in the same system as Footfall, which includes a tech cult, that and convince them to fill the power vacuum, that they are such an unknown to the other forces of Footfall that they wouldn't be challenged straight away, and that you could effectively work with them to transition power. So as long as they got something out of the deal, they could establish dominance and then hand over to you without the other groups suddenly all trying to fill that vacuum or challenging you directly. That has, according to her analysis, has the highest chance of success.
Interesting.
At least without excessive investment of time.
Okay, we don't want.
We definitely don't want Joss to read the note right now.
No, we don't want her in assassin mode yet. It'd be very inconvenient for us.
I'm just very sad that my reputation has not made everyone afraid of this ship. I will redouble my efforts, Lord Commander.
Sure. Okay, well, that's good to know. So it wasn't any sort of, it's a cipher in a way that is a series of code to activate a program to go into kill murder mode.
Yeah, you just put the card in the punch card thing, which is her brain, and then she gets to work.
Yeah, so I mean, you already have her command kill words. It's more like this. She obviously has skills or knowledge which is segmented or locked away, and the code activates those sort of things. So it might give her a different personality that she can use to infiltrate, for example.
Just out of curiosity, this is a mechanics question. I took my willpower from 45 to 50. Is there anything I need to update on my sheet?
Nothing on your sheet. It will affect other things, like because your willpower bonus has gone up higher, so it will affect other things.
Okay,
like
that
for
was
example,
just
how much
checking,
you heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Expert at willpower now, so.
Yep.
It's literally the Winter Soldier programming book. Furnace, Daybreak, 17.
Okay, well that's interesting. That's good to know. Make sure not to put that in a scroll holder that we eject out when we eject out the face. There is questions I want to ask the face later about what exactly my sister had asked him when he was very forthwith. Later on, after we get done here.
All right.
We still have that acquisitions roll. Well, reverse acquisitions.
Yeah. We
want other people to acquire things from us.
Oh,
Specifically, yes. I love the Lord Commodore merch. Angelica Cowles keychains.
Yes. What do I need to do? Obviously, I'd probably communicate with the the planet governor, who I've probably been ignoring his calls up until now.
Didn't you speak to him?
Yeah, he was a bit of he was a toothless, because remember the Mandato really maintains the control here, the secret police.
I love the idea that he's trying to get in contact with you. You contact him, he's like, "Hey man, so I got this thing called Tupperware, right?"
It's essentially.
Have you heard of?
Yes.
Have you heard about? What do you think about
We're
blockchains?
MLM now.
I mean, we did it to the.
Would you like to join my downstream?
I would say these oils are absolutely essential to your health. Do you know how much toxins you have?
I mean, we did it to essentially the one guy at Fort Suffering, right? He was trying like that entire time to get a hold of us, and I was like, I'll get to him later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but from any commercial venture, you are better speaking with the judicator here rather than the Mandato, because the Mandato is more about like controlling the day to day of the city. But in terms of, they're not interested in the commercial side of operations here. So you could, if you wanted to actually set up some sort of deal on the city, then you go back to the office of the judiciary.
Yeah, I'd do that then.
Okay. Is everybody doing this exploration of financial? Or
I am constantly making sure that there's pork, like kickbacks for Brock.
Oh, yes.
I want to make sure that there's like tax exemptions for it.
This fucking street vendor is going to become like the merchant lord of this.
This is how you start Venice. This is how it starts.
Yeah, so he literally sells fruit and knickknacks. It's like
I'll just say tax exemptions right now. Tithing, no need. You're good, buddy. I just want him to know and respect my level of power.
All right, so you return to District 1 and to the commercia area and head to the office of the judiciary. And once again, Avandus Idrani is more than happy to meet with such a high-standing member of the Imperium. Lord Commodore, I didn't expect to see you again so soon. I take it everything has been to your liking on Sinofia?
Yeah, and I believe we also solved some problems that you've had here.
Oh?
Indeed.
What problems?
I hold up the scroll case. I just wave it around like a baton.
It's probably been screaming this entire time because of Cade.
Oh no! It doesn't. No, wait. It's silent right now.
Good.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it when it suffers.
We solved the unquiet problem that you have, more than likely.
Really?
Indeed. You will have to probably deal with the unquiet still, as in you have to kill them off again. But...
There should not be any more forming.
Indeed.
Well, then we are very relieved.
Just say in our debt. Just yeah. I slam the case in front of him and I say in our debt. Just say it. You know it to be true.
You can just put this back, Quite, yes. But we are not a wealthy world. Times are tough. But what we can offer you, we will. What is it that you need, Lord Commodore?
I just want to set up a merchandising deal with the planet. I can provide some morale boosting items, such as items of enjoyment, convenience, and novelty.
Adrian, bring out the satchel with the samples and describe them for the governor as you do.
Yeah.
And if those don't interest you, we have this concoction where you drink it and you get very angry.
This is amazing. Like,
we also...
It's like there's people that like walk into businesses with like big suitcases full of just stuff to sell. Like 4 attendants walk in with these giant sort of crates that open up with everything sort of arrayed out, like the t-shirts, the.
No. Let Spoon describe them.
Okay.
It's those old salesmen that go door to door where they're like, I'm going to spill some wine on your carpet real quick so I can prove to you.
Yes. Yeah.
I can prove to you how this shit gets removed.
We just pull in assistants and like put them in I Love the Lord Commodore t-shirts and they're just happier.
All right. Give me a commerce test with an extra +10 for your song and dance.
We earn this.
Okay.
You can say it, James. Shenanigans.
Did we?
Shenanigans is the correct terminology.
Does either pure mercantile or pure nobility play in effect?
Well, one or the other woods, but you can't combine both. But I'll give you extra +10 for that.
I got renown warrant, and then that one of them, so it'd be +30.
Yep.
How can I mess this up?
You can't.
You can't.
I can't.
Apparently.
Okay.
Okay, no,
That's
good. Okay. Cool. You got 6 degrees success. He got 4 degrees of failure. So,
Or gangster.
yeah, okay. That will actually translate into a profit factor, which is a 2 profit factor for you because of hard bargain.
Yes.
So there is actually you have an established an outlet on this planet, a Pierre Cowles outlet.
And a morale bringing business.
Okay, all right, yeah.
You too can wear the face of the man who got rid of the undead family members problem.
Brock is listed as like he's licensed to set up a stand directly outside the main entrance to sell fruit to people coming in and out.
He's the main liaison or the sales manager.
You're just gonna give him a job,
essentially.
Yeah.
We insist that this man run the company for us.
He's
I will not take no for an answer.
He's our factor on the planet.
That's the vendor business manager. No worries.
Be set for
all
life.
right. So you spend, I don't know, maybe like, a few hours getting all this stuff underway. Probably Adrani takes you out to like a building that is currently unoccupied that, that they'll happily offer you to set up your operations in.
What's inside of it?
Is this this? I know what this is. This is the Yakuza minigame where you set up a shop and they have a chicken there that's named Brock. That is actually like really good at like selling tofu, and you're like, "Damn, Brock, get to work."
There's a what?
That's a real thing, by the way.
The new Yakuza game is wild.
So
it's
like a commercial building, like a warehouse and office combined that has become unoccupied because when the planet fell on hard times, the business here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't like kicking people out of their apartments.
No.
Okay.
This planet has an under occupancy problem, so there's plenty of vacant buildings to use.
Well, if we should have left the unquiet problem alone, because then we wouldn't have that problem anymore.
Wow. Eventually there'll be a 0 occupancy problem.
Yeah, it would just be full of undead.
As long as they're functioning, I suppose.
We probably would have made a better profit factor if we actually established a business for like removing corpses from the planet.
I got nothing for that, probably.
Not bad.
We could solve them respawning, or we can make a business where we transport them into the vacuum of space where it's not a problem anymore.
We charge more for that service. Lord Commodore, did we want to offer the Inquisition team an office on like the highest level so that they could like, hang out and have a nice clubhouse and menace from up there instead of just hanging out on other people's rooftops illegally?
Why?
Is it just a case of like,
right,
we remove the gargoyles and now they have space?
The less access to stuff they find out that I am of their target, the better.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm going to, at this point in time, Spectre Soul 17 has just stopped following you around or stopped riding around with you.
I love the idea that they just disappear at one point because we just don't care about them that much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, unless you actively,
we've done their job for them. It's fine.
They're leaving. Yeah.
Or we had a pit stop and we just forgot that they weren't a part of our group and drove away, and they're just like, oh man.
Yeah, because you guys all buddied with each. Nobody buddied with them, so that's when the buddy system fails, is when 2 people disappear.
I'm going to leave them a note indicating that I appreciated their professionalism during our time together. I apologize that we forced them to stay near our null because we didn't trust them. And that I really appreciated the fact that they recognized that I am one of the greatest shots in the entire universe. Wish them well and give them my blessing as royalty.
Where do you leave this note?
I feel like I could just leave it anywhere, really, right?
Okay. I mean, there's like public notice boards around you can put it on, I suppose.
Yeah, I just put it in an inquisitorial cipher and leave it there.
Okay. Okay, no worries.
James, it just reads longing, Daybreak train car.
Someone else walks past. Suddenly their eyes glaze over and they start murdering people. Damn, we're using those ciphers. So, word also arrives that a message has been received by the astropaths on the hand. It's a coded message that bears an inquisitorial sigil for Pierre. So it's a delivered message. It's not something you've got to talk to. It's a message that's been delivered to you. It seems to bear like the sigil of the Tyrantine Cabal. You're on mute, Pondo.
No, I was just being really quiet. I just great. Okay. I guess after business is done here, go up there and look at the segment or listen to segment, whichever.
All right. Anything else anyone needs to do on Synovia before you leave?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think.
Not on Synovia.
Okay. So you gather your people and your equipment and you return to the hand. So surely then a message is delivered to you, Pondo. The message has come in from a inquisitor you've not heard of before by the name of Rykus. It's Rykehuss, who identifies himself as a inquisitor of the Order Hereticus and a member of the Tyrantine Cabal. He specifically calls out in his identification that he is a monodominant, which is a faction of both the Imperium and the Inquisition that basically believe in mankind's absolute dominance over the galaxy. You know, there is no place in their mind for things like working with aliens to the betterment of mankind, even if it's to exploit them. It's sort of like it's a very puritanical view of things that, you know, that there is no trucking with the enemy to achieve our ends. There is only achieving our ends.
Right.
So
why is he talking to a rogue trader? Holy fuck.
So Rykus indicates in his message he's heard of you through your involvement with Zerb, and he's also heard that you have come into possession of a group of gnolls. And he indicates as a witch hunter, he is very interested in acquiring one-on-one gnolls, especially he's actually heard of through his investigations about your one named Cade, and is interested in what it would take to potentially purchase the services of a trained gnoll to aid him.
Cade like 13 years old?
Yes.
Yeah, Cade is a child.
He's
I
nerd, though.
don't think
He's my
age
adopted
matters.
son. Don't get near him. I will kill
What's his
everyone on this ship to protect him, including
What's
the
his
Lord
profit
Captain.
factor?
His profit factor is infinite, just like his potential.
How does this guy feel that these gnolls are because of Xenos intervention?
Are you going to send that message to him?
Tell me about it, Pierre.
What he doesn't know.
Pierre, tell me. Pierre, tell me he wants to buy Cade. Tell me about it.
You know what the best part about this entire conversation is that Nero would probably feel a lot better if Cade wasn't around.
No, I have jaded now, so I'm not affected by him anymore.
It's not you're not affected. It's just background noise now.
Sure,
You know?
I don't care as much.
How much is he offering for Null?
Well,
no,
it's
how
more
dare
like
you?
It's more like he's interested in what you would like, you know. So if it's he hasn't said this is I'll pay X dollars. It's more like you know, I'd like to find a deal. So here's how you can contact me.
Okay, I'll
Tell him you want one Falchion class frigate, free of all crew members, minimal fire damage.
Minimal fire damage. Oh man!
please do not exterminate us.
We're gonna doom another ship crew to death.
No, yeah, I'll have to think about that because it would not be great if you figured out that they were null because of Xenos intervention.
Yeah, but who would tell him
Yeah,
that?
who's gonna tell him though?
That's true.
Like the three of us, does Don even know? Does Adrian? Yeah. I think that you and me might be the only one who know.
Don knows.
The
Shrain would know.
Yeah, Shrain would know. The Death Watch Marines might know.
Yeah.
So anybody that's read this, give me a +10 scrutiny roll if you've shown this to anybody. So Pierre, you and anyone.
I don't know if you would show it to anybody. Because...
Okay, so you just give me a +10 scrutiny roll.
Yeah. I'll fate points reroll that.
Okay, Koronus.
God, I'm rolling high. There we go.
Okay, so this guy's language is very sort of direct and very, very to the point. But there's also like this implied threat in the language as well. It's almost like, you know, I am the truest servant of the Imperium, and so therefore, if we can't reach a deal, that's purely because you are an imperfect servant of the Imperium and therefore of no value to the Imperium in the future. So, like, it's no sort of like, if you don't deal with me, this will happen. But you just, it's implied that, you know, he wants Knowles for the betterment of the Imperium. And if you don't deliver him Knowles for the Imperium, then clearly you don't believe in the betterment of the Imperium.
Just call him a hypocrite and say that these were made by Xenos.
This sounds like he's calling me out.
Well, like he simply said, any true servant of the Emperor would understand that this is, you know, for everybody's benefit.
I was like, he's not here, so I can't just do like Nero, shoot him. Fuck this guy.
You could always say, I'd love to arrange a meeting between you and my security officer who spends a lot of time with the Nulls.
So Dawn, you can give me, if you mentioned his name to anybody else, at least Pondo.
I think after realizing the threat, he probably should call in a council.
Okay, so yeah, so anybody that's got Forbidden Law Inquisition can roll it. Dawn, I'll give you a +20.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
Nope.
Okay, so Nero at least knows that you've heard of Rikus before. He has got quite a fearsome reputation as a very staunch puritanical devotee of the Inquisition, who has been, you know, he's exactly the sort of Inquisitor who would, you know, trigger exterminatus. You know, he'd rather wipe out an entire planet than let a single heretic escape. Dawn, you've heard a lot more about him. So he is, as many people consider him a hero as consider him a villain. His basic MO is to turn up to a world, declare that everybody on the world is a heretic unless they can prove their innocence, and then set up basically like a
guilty
trial
until proven otherwise.
Yeah, a trial of ordeals where people have to prove through ordeal that they are pure.
Is a CEO of a company in the 1990s. You're all fired. Explain to me why I should hire you.
Yeah, that's
less money.
Yeah, but with your huge degrees, you've learned enough that, like, for people, so you've known people that have worked with him as well, and in many ways there is a degree of bluster in that he honestly believes in that, you know, he's doing the work, but also he understands this fierce reputation preceding him benefits him. You know, so to people like your group, where you are, you know, higher ranked members of the Imperium, he would be willing to work in a more conjugal way. It's more a case of, you know, he relies upon his fear factor playing into his hands. So he's not about to walk into your ship and suddenly accuse all of being heretics.
That wouldn't go well.
That's good, because he would just die immediately.
That would be a bold play.
But by the same token, he hates any psychers. He will not work with psychers. So even the fact that he sent a message for an astropath is sort of, you know, not really within his standard MO, but it's the best way to obviously communicate without him traipsing halfway around the galaxy trying to find you.
All right, so Nero's going to be like,
I'll pass.
oh, this guy. I love this guy. He's one of my top 5 Inquisitors. What did he ask for?
And I'll return back and be like, oh, this guy. Well, you know, he's not the best Inquisitor.
Are you sure? I've heard a lot about this dominance movement, the mono dominance. I really believe a lot. You know, I like what they're selling.
So then I'll start talking about how. Then I'll just reiterate basically exactly what James said to the party, and that's why you put your milk out on Tuesday.
He's interested in Cade of wanting to obtain his services. Essentially,
that's because he hates psychers. He absolutely hates them.
Specifically Cade, or did he just want
He mentioned Cade specifically.
Well,
he wants a
have
trained
Cade.
null.
That's ridiculous. Cade is his own man. Well, you know what? I'll ask Cade. Cade, come in here.
All right, he walks in.
All right, Cade, you want to work for an Inquisitor?
Don't I already?
Yeah, is that not what we already? Is it not what we already do?
No. You are a member of this crew. You work for him. And I point to Pierre. And he's not an Inquisitor yet. Although I was shocked to find out he's an Acolyte.
Yes, don't mention that to Shrain.
Yep, don't mention that to Shrain.
Or else I will.
Let's not mention that to anyone.
I give Cade a wink. Because I've already told James I wrote a letter to Shrain with that information
Because
in it.
if I find out that you told Shrain, I will cut off all your gourmet food and will make you eat rations with everybody else.
I assure you, I will not tell Shrain about this conversation. No, wait, I wouldn't say any of that because I wouldn't want the rest of the crew to know that I work for Shrain. I would say, why would I tell Cassius Shrain anything, Captain? Now, Cade, you work for this ship. You are employed by it, and we also educate you because you're a young man. And that's what we do for children, because otherwise it'd be really weird.
Okay, let me reiterate. If you tell anybody, I'll make sure that any shore leave you have is taken away from you.
You've already done that twice.
I mean, permanently.
And when I asked to see my wife and my newborn child, you also denied me that.
Well,
I gave you
not yet.
You're
It's still away, isn't it?
Lord Commodore, if you order me not to do something, I'm not going to do it. Your threats need a lot of work, though. If you need a lesson on intimidation, I'm willing to help you teach you this course.
I don't need intimidation. I just need promises of threat taking away stuff from you that you enjoy. Like bacon.
You've already done that regularly.
I haven't taken away your
bacon. You're getting
yet.
bacon? He's getting bacon?
Of course. I eat breakfast 3 meals of a day.
No wonder you're so much bigger these days.
Yeah, it's just an episode 1 callback.
Um,
All right, look, Cade.
anyway.
You work for the ship, which means you work for him. You're technically his expert in anti-psycherism, but you could leave a life that is somewhat more dangerous and more fulfilling and involves a lot less of us and a lot more killing. And I know you like killing.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. You know, you don't need to answer us immediately, Cade, although it would help. But you're going to have to decide the entirety of the rest of your life in the next few minutes. Do you want to stay with us, or would you rather sell your literal soul to Inquisitor Ricus?
I serve this ship, this crew, you and the Lord Commodore.
Good. That's good to hear, because you've killed for this crew, which means you're a man now. All right, you can't have him, Lord Commodore.
Other nulls.
What? Why give him any nulls? No. With someone like this,
why give him any nulls?
Yes.
Why not sell them to him instead?
No. Like, why give him anything?
I wasn't going to give him. I was going to work out a deal. He can obtain things. He can obtain stuff easily that I can't at times.
Well, you haven't finished training the null assassins yet. So I don't know that they have the level of value that you were hoping that they have. And I don't think he's looking to rent them from you. I think he's looking to permanently acquire them, as long as you're okay with that.
It depends on what he has to offer. Though for now, just have him meet me in Port Wonder so we can discuss in person. And I can actually show him product if I feel like it.
Okay. So you can send that message off to meet you at Port Wonder.
All right. I say, Lord Commodore, you know, normally in a situation like this, my immediate response would be to tell him to fuck off and intimidate him back. However, I recently learned that doing that with the Inquisition means you need to do a favor for another member of the Inquisition to solve that problem, and then you just end up going in circles. So allow me to say this. It might be better to tie this guy down with bureaucratic nonsense and... what's the thing you're so fond of? Blather? Just to keep him on the... You know... Keep... I can't remember the term.
The hook.
Yes, keep him on the hook until he gets frustrated and goes elsewhere, rather than, you know, exterminating this ship and stealing the Eternal Praetorium, because you can do it.
I don't think this man is much for red tape. He's the type to see the red tape, piss on it, and then do what he wants anyway.
Sure, but we can't just outrightly kill him. I like this guy.
Well, all we have to do is just take him outside of the Imperium limits and then kill him.
But he does good work.
He's a hero of the Imperium as well.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He insulted my dedication to the Lord Emperor. I cannot take that lightly.
That's true.
Then do a duel with him like a normal person.
That would be very bad for
if he insulted your honor, then that's one way of doing it without breaking any... You offer a champion.
That would be a good way of giving Pierre's uncle a free title.
Well, obviously Pierre would nominate a champion.
Why to nominate? Why fight him honorably when I could just figure out a way to kill him?
Yeah, exactly. Are you volunteering, Adrian?
I have an assassin on the ship.
Here's the thing, Lord Captain. If you fail in this, or even if you succeed, there will probably be others that will take his mantle. He is well renowned within the Inquisitorium.
I don't think you can
a lot of
go...
people will follow that way.
Can you go halfway with someone like this? Like, can you just be like, I will sell you some of these nulls?
It sounds like he just wants a couple. I'm guessing to assume that
I think you may want to clarify that particular line before he starts demanding control of the Eternal Praetorium.
So once again, Dave, with your exceptional number of successes on knowing about Inquisitor Ricus, he's pretty hard to miss, by the way, as well. He is renowned for wearing custom-made Terminator armor, emblazoned with Inquisitor seagulls.
I'm telling you, Nero would love to work with this guy.
And carrying a power pole axe with an integrated bolter in the actual axe itself.
Like a gun blade?
Yeah.
Is this guy canon?
This is Nero's final form.
He's canon.
So I will actually get out a piece of paper and I'll start drawing what he wears into battle, and then I'll fold it and I'll slide it over to the Lord Captain, and I'll be like, "This is what he's offering you, sir." And you open it, and it's a crayon drawing of a man in power armor holding a ginormous fucking axe with a gun at the end of it. And then I just nodding and was like, I would not suggest fucking with this man.
I have Nero with a crack missile rocket launcher he's been dying to use.
I'm sure there is a way that we can come up with a solution that is mutually beneficial to both parties.
Lord Commodore, it would do well to remind you that at the early season of the show, I indicated that I am a black and white character, and that I fall in a very morally white area as far as the Imperium is concerned. And killing an Inquisitor who has done nothing to us and who is very cool and who agrees with everything that I agree with would be a very bad idea, and I would probably not do it. That would be heresy.
Baffled.
That would be heresy, sir.
A man who just suddenly kills people, just declares a planet dead to rights.
Yeah. It's impressive what he can do with his powers.
Interesting.
I like his pamphlet. I subscribe to his zine. On my list of top 5 people in the Imperium, he's number 4. Number 1, God Emperor. Number 2, Saint Drusus and Angevin. I'd rate them at like the same level.
None of the Primarchs.
Do I look like I'm gene enhanced?
That's how you know Arthur's a fucking millennial, by the way, because he repeatedly uses the word zine. Like,
that's literally the first time in my entire life I've ever used the word zine.
Repeatedly.
So does he just like it just puts like the bolter on the end of the well, you can't answer me right now.
I assume that the whole length of the thing is the bolter barrel and it comes out the end tip. So you axe somebody and then you...
I dropped a picture in the Roll20 for you.
I don't know if I can...
Oh, in Roll20. Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah, the axe becomes a bayonet.
Yep, it's exactly how I thought it was. It literally is built into the end so that when you axe somebody, it is a gunblade.
Yep.
I told you about those stairs.
Yeah, I mean the custodians have it where they have it on the end of their
Castellan axes.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah, as you can see, this guy's subtlety score is not very high.
No, that's
At some point in this game, there was a decision that we all made. We were all like, man, stealth, huh? And we're just like, nah.
I remember that decision because I was like, hey, what if we got stealth? And you were like, no, let's not.
I didn't say let's not. I was like, okay, that's a good idea, but we're going to totally probably ignore that. And then immediately, I think the same episode, you're like, hi, I'm with the Lord Commodore Pierre Cowles here.
You might remember him from such things.
I'm Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia.
I believe it was the very same episode. I think we should be more stealthy. We get down to the planet.
Nero, you get like a message through the inner ship box that you've got a personal message from home, which is you recognize as a coded Shane message, but it's it's one of the ones where it's like Shane wants a direct link to have like face-to-face communication via Astropath.
Yep. All right. I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I gotta go. It's pretty tough to get a message from Cadia. I leave.
Okay.
There's something inquisitorium about that man.
Who is he talking to on Cadia?
My family? From
He doesn't
there?
have a family. All his family died in some war.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're from Cadia, all Cadians are your family. That's why Cadia will never break.
Citizen 2743. Good to see you again.
Yeah. It's like the meme that has like the kid pointing at the star map of the Imperium. It's like, where's Mars? Here, you know. Where's Caliban? Here. Where's Cadia? Here.
Yeah, exactly. That's where Cadia is. I carry Rome in my heart.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else need to do anything while they're back on the ship now? Do you know actually where you're going next?
I thought we were going back to Scintilla.
I think we're stopping at Scintilla, check up on the Gilded Throne.
Actually, I thought it was time for my side story, so that's where we're going next, right?
I think we had to.
That's in the Expanse.
Yeah, we had to get to the Expanse first, which we have some Iron Warriors to get through first.
I just fast travel there, guys. You know, we've been there before, right?
There are enemies there.
Yeah, there are enemies nearby. We can't fast travel.
No, we don't need to sleep. We just need to fast travel. Okay, it's different. We'll get on the back of a carriage. It'll be fine. It just costs a couple of gold.
We are the carriage, Dave. We are the carriage. we allow Imperial Guard units to fast travel.
There you go.
Yeah, stop at Scintilla. Check up on the Gilded Throne. Maybe do some acquisitions while we're there because it'd be easier. Then I think it's just straight to Port Wonder because I can't think of any unless Reth is no.
Yeah.
I need to see the star.
Yeah,
map.
the map.
So Reth is down the bottom near towards Port Wonder. Only slightly off.
No, I think Reth can wait. Yeah, let's just stop by Scintilla, check on things, and go to Port Wonder to see what all goes on.
Okay. So Nero, you head up to the choir chamber.
Yep.
And yep. So Bethor knows that you need to do a face-to-face communication with somebody, and he will facilitate that for you. Once again, it's all through like a special psychic coding where he won't remember any of it.
Yep.
So once the choir begins, Bethor's demeanor changes, and he sort of takes on Shrane's swagger. Nero, thank you for responding quickly.
I drop to one knee and I say, "What is thy bidding, my master?"
Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
Listen, it's been 2 weeks since we had an episode. I'm fucking out of it, man. I can't stop memeing today.
Today?
Yeah, good point.
Thank you for letting me know about the Lord Commodore's involvement with Inquisitor Zerb. It's concerning because Zerb, there are many within the Inquisition in the Calixis sector who fear Zerb's true intentions and the power he seems to wield. But at the end of the day, it is the rogue trader's decision to do that, and he has that right. I would just caution you to be watchful. We still don't know what Zerb truly wants.
I have been ordered not to speak of this.
Very well. I will not speak on it further then. I wanted to bring your attention to something else, though. I've grown very concerned about the fact that this flotilla of chaos forces within the Maw has not attempted to push further into the Calixis sector. They separate the Expanse and the sector, but they have launched no attacks against Port Wanda. They simply seem to be holding their location, repelling forces that have gone to move against them. And I've become more worried now that the Calixis sector is not their goal at all, but potentially it's the Jericho Warp Gate. That we've spoken of in the past sector.
Yes.
So yeah.
Is not the Jericho Warp Gate located quite close to the location that the Maw is?
It's within the Maw itself.
Yes, it's not too distant from where their fleet is holding.
Yes. On the far side of the Jericho Warp Gate, there is a Death Watch Watch Fortress named Watch Fortress Enoch.
You've spoken of this before?
Yep, it's built on an ancient asteroid, which includes something in the beneath we call the Omega Vault. Have I mentioned the Omega Vault to you?
Yes, you did, and you may have also mentioned never to speak of it.
Yes. I'm becoming more and more concerned that this is the true goal of the Iron Warriors. We could not allow that facility to fall into Chaos hands. Yet now I've seen more evidence that the Jericho Warp Gate is not being properly patrolled, because a xenoform that only exists on the far side of the Warp Gate is now attacking a world here in the Calixis sector that I'm dealing with. I'm nearby.
Xenoform.
Yes.
So he's saying an alien, like an alien that guards the gate is no longer guarding it.
Well, an alien that has not ever been in this part of the space. Is only from the part of space where the Jericho Warp Gate been to. Has suddenly turned up here. An insidious xeno race known to themselves as the Talvar have attacked a planet in the Calixis sector. We can deal with it, but once again, if the guardianship of the Jericho Gate has fallen, that means that the Omega Vault and Watch Fortress Enoch are in direct threat, and I can't get a message through. So if you are planning to travel to the Maw again, I would like you, if you can, to look in on, or to convince the captain to look in on the Jericho Warp Gate, identify whether the Iron Warrior forces are actually threatening it.
With what measure of authority might I gather additional forces to deal with this? Or do you
the problem is
simply wish reconnaissance rather than force?
So most of the forces I have at my command are either with me right now or on the Watch Fortress. My power is mainly with the Death Watch, and so I have 2 kill teams with me right now, but the remainder are on Enoch. I mean, you can speak. You carry my authority in the signal I've given you, but I don't know what forces you would potentially use to co-opt.
Very well. I will attempt to be resourceful. Plus, I will ask the Iron Warriors with what forces they wish to bid to defend the gate. No, don't say that. I just
That's it. Because you could sell their ass. Okay.
Ceylon, Shropkin.
Well, if you're looking to, I expect I'll be on Fackrest a while longer. If you're looking to contact me,
very well.
Fackrest on the map, by the way, is over here.
That's very far from both Scintilla and Port Wonder.
I'm not saying come here. I'm just saying this is where I will be for the time being.
Okay, I understand, sir.
It sounds like if you need to come talk to me, just come here. The complete opposite direction you want to go.
Send a message. That's it. That's where he is in case you're like, oh, how soon can you meet me? Well, I'm over here in the outer regions of the Malfian subsector.
I also love the idea that you get there and he's like, all right, so here's what I need. I need you to go to all the other corners of the universe and collect a gemstone for me and then bring it back here.
So we've already done the Mass Effect split up and do 3 different things before coming back to the main plot. So
okay.
Although if you want to get the exploration achievement, so you've got to go to every world.
God.
You have to scan them all.
Oh
right,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. You have to scan Uranus. You also have to go to a planet with twin suns called Carcosa. I send the Lord Commodore a message saying that I need to have a meeting with him at his convenience regarding Cadian business. No, I wouldn't say that because then he'd know about the secret code word. I probably scheduled the meeting after I've had a few more messages, so he doesn't know which message was my inquisitorial trigger. But yeah, I assume I get psychic junk mail from time to time.
You want to open up your third eye? Let me tell you about how you can do that, right?
Baron Nero, we've already qualified you for a new Falchion class frigate.
There's 3 easy payments of 1,499.
Throne Geld.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like after several hours and something to cover me with, I make sure to schedule a meeting with the Lord Captain.
Okay, so the ship is going to start making ready for transit to Scintilla, which is probably about...
Are we stopping at some point midway there, or literally anywhere there in the infinite void of space to drop off
Drop
Scroll
this demon
Boy?
face. Yeah.
Yeah, that certainly.
That's in the bloopers. It's just an animation of us dropping out of warp. We leave and there's just a scroll case floating.
It's the animatic.
Yeah.
The driver's side window like winds down and then
Well, we certainly know that Pierre still wants to question it, so that's not happening until he's questioned it. But it's probably going to take the best part of a month to get to Scintilla.
Okay.
So everyone's preparing for warp travel. I think we'll probably do the conversation with Nero and Pierre, and then Pierre and the Face after the break.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Friends, we'll be back for the second half in about 8 minutes. Stick around or don't. I'm not in charge of you. I mean, I'm in charge of the stream.
I
Okay,
am,
well,
and I'm saying stick around.
He's in
Or
charge.
else I will put Rikus on your ass.
Wow. That's
I'm
so
in
Nero.
charge of James and I'm saying do whatever you like.
I'm so confused right now. Pondo, you outrank all of us. What do you want to do? Back in 8 minutes, sir?
Back in 8 minutes.